Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I haven't done this in a long time. This is going to be a shorter one, mostly because I'm not really that... Well, it's not that I'm not into recording podcasts. I just don't like sitting here for a long time talking about not really anything. So, yeah. Welcome back, guys. It's good to be back here doing this again, I guess. The next segment will be me talking about why I was gone for so long. Well, obviously I wasn't gone on YouTube, but I haven't made a podcast in over a year. It's been about 13 months, so also on YouTube there'll be 2 episodes going up at once because episode 3 was never posted. So yeah, y'all got some good things to look forward to here on the newest episode of the Zoogleplex podcast, so let's get right into it. Okay, so why I've been gone for such a long time. Basically I just lost motivation to record episodes. I tried 3 times to make episodes, 3 different episodes, and they all failed. First time was it was the end of June, so probably a couple days after the 3rd episode went up, and I just couldn't find anything to talk about that was worth talking about, so I kind of just gave up on it. Second time was in early July, and it was really fucking short, 13 minutes or something like that, which this one's gonna be short too, but and it was just so fucking bland. I would say that nowadays, like a year down the road, I'm better at just talking about things, saying things off my head and shit. Also, I think I've got a better voice for it over time, of course, but yeah. Anyways, the 3rd time, the last time I tried, was December, and in fact, before I came and recorded this episode you're listening to right now, I saw the draft for it, and it was just the driest, blandest commentary ever, bro. Yeah, that didn't turn out either. I only recorded about 2 or 3 minutes before I just gave up on it, and that's where it's been for a year till today. Today is July 27th, and some interesting trivia about July 27th is that it is in fact my favorite day of the year. For some reason, no particular reason. I just remember 4 or 5 years ago, remember really liking this date, 7/27, the numbers and everything, so it's just been my favorite day of the year since, and that's kind of a weird thing for people to like, day of the year, but I'm getting off topic. Anyways, so that's about it for this segment. Next thing I'm going to get into is how things have changed in the YouTube scene in the past year. Okay, so the way things have changed in the last year on YouTube and everything. Okay, before I get into that, I just want to say a quick shout out to me, because after the intro and everything, all the audio you're hearing, all the background music, is my own music, and that sounds really pretentious to say that, but the main reason I'm doing that is for advertising, because within the next few days, my music it might be going on Apple Music, so you can bump me on Apple Music. I don't know if it's gonna completely come through yet, but if you wanted to bump me on Apple Music, bro, you definitely could. So anyway, last year things were pretty different. I think the podcasts were the last things I made on YouTube for like a 2 or 3 month hiatus. If I'm correct, it's probably not right, but yeah. Anyways, back then things were a lot more different. It was a lot harder for me to make videos back then, and plus me and Coolvitzer Kids, we were like basically on the same like league. He only had like 100 more subs. Now he has over 1,000 subs more. I don't really feel jealous, honestly. I feel like it's more like a, good for him feeling, but it does kind of suck, bro. You almost feel like you're left behind, Anyways, that kind of discouraged me whenever it first happened, but now I'm just learning to live with it. I've made some pretty banging ass videos, but what's really happened is that back when I made the first couple episodes, my most few videos had like 200 views. Like, there was one that had 200, one that had 100, and then nothing else even came close. Now that's pretty different. Like, back then I had 2K views, now I have 10K, and that's pretty nice. But I made a video in November, and it blew up, and it was how to watch YouTube on Nintendo 3DS, and I always wondered why it had such a bad like to dislike ratio. It was like almost 50-50, and then I realized, I rewatched it, and it's completely fucking stupid, right? Okay, so you will watch that video, and the specific video I pick is a Coolvitzer Kids video, and the intro is like this, honestly, kind of like shitty YouTube logo looking thing. So what I think people dislike it for is because the editing, like, it jumps around a lot and it's really harsh. So I believe that people see that jumping over that shitty YouTube logo and think that I've faked it, and that's why they dislike it, which is really weird because it's not really that bad looking, but yeah. But anyways, what else was I gonna think? What else was I gonna say? Is what I'm. Yeah. Lost my train of thought there for a second. What I was saying is, I had like 1K views back in January. Now it's at over 3K, which is pretty epic, gamers. But also had 2 other videos that had over 500 views, and I had a peak of views in like February and March, and then it just slowly stagnated down there. I was hitting almost 1,000 views. Well, I think I did go over 1,000 views a month in like April or May, and then after that, it just slowly fell down. I'm only getting about 200 views per month, which a hell of a lot better than what it was this time last year. It was like 30 or 40 per month, but still, my videos only averaged 25 to 30 views, whereas back then they averaged 60 to 90 views. But it's alright, just the way shit goes, I guess. Yeah, so bump my music on Apple Music. Release date will come around, it's about August 8th, and yeah, that'll be the end of this segment. So, see y'all in a second, and you get to hear some more Zoogle music, I guess. That's kind of pretentious. Okay. Excuse any background noise, by the way. This is a tribute to the Zoogle movie, and if you're a true Zoogle fan, you'll have heard that name before, and it's a cursed name. It's a very cursed name. The Zoogle movie, if it wasn't fucking obvious, it's the name of a full-length Zoogle movie video. Like a video uploaded on my channel that is like movie length. And that's happened before, but it's not like they're all live streams. They're not actual movies, of course. The Zoogle movie has been planned and has failed 3 separate times. The next few minutes, I will talk to you about those 3 times that it has failed. Okay, the origins of the Zoogle movie was back in early 2019, because the name Zoogle originated in February and was only used as early as on YouTube as early as March. So this was probably April to May of 2019. And the original Zoogle movie was made on an app which was on my old Android phone, which was a piece of shit, by the way, but and it was like talking animals, and there was like these 2 dudes, and the plot was something along the lines of they needed to make a successful YouTube channel in a month or something like that. Had nothing to do with me as a person. It was just called the Zoogle movie because my channel name was Zoogle. That one failed pretty quickly. I made a trailer for it, I believe, and it's long gone. It's dead. It is gone. I probably finished 10 to 15 minutes of it, if my memory is correct. And it just completely fell apart because I didn't know what to do. I got stuck. There were parts of the movie that weren't connecting. It all just. Plus, there were like I was reaching my phone's limitations, if that makes any sense, because my old phone wasn't very powerful, so it had to be scrapped. And okay, it was I don't think it would have turned out very good anyways. The way it was progressing, it would have probably only been about 40 minutes long, and it was like it had unnecessary plot points like riddled everywhere. So that was dumped probably in April or May. Now, the second attempt, which I can remember very little about, was mid-2019, July. So, about this time last year. And it was it had me in it, which is about all I can remember. It was like a live action thing. And that was interesting, because I only have... Okay, so I've had only ever 2 face reveals. The first one in March, where I look like an ogre. That video's privated. I don't think it's ever going to see the light of day. And the second one, where I still look kind of shitty, was made in November, and you can still watch it. I'm most likely going to be doing another face reveal soon, but that's not on top of it. Okay, so this was live action. And there were immediately many problems. Mainly, there would only be me as an actor. I would have to play every role, and that of course did not fly one bit. That did not work at all. I have a bad history of trying to do live action stuff, but maybe not. Maybe I can fix the curse in these next few coming months with some other projects, but once again, not the point. Okay, and the third time. Now, the third time is the one that I not only know the most about, but actually had physical evidence of existing and actual content and assets from it and stuff. The third attempt at the Zoogle movie was the one that was probably the most ambitious, but fell apart. Well, not necessarily the quickest, but the hardest. So this was November to December of 2019, maybe even spanning into early 2020. And it was a movie which had, in the beginning, a lot of, like, big stuff in it. Like, had a really nice, polished intro, some nice music. The animation was jagged as hell, but it was, it was about as good as I could do. And it had voice acting using text-to-speech, which was pretty impressive for my standards at that time. And it was looking pretty damn good. Then about 3 or 4 minutes into it, I had no idea how to progress it. I was running out of motivation, and it just completely collapsed on itself. But I still have those original minutes of recording, or at least I think I do. I'm about 80% sure. If it is, or if I do have it, then you will be seeing that in what is supposed to be the final product of the longly unsuccessful Zoogle movie, because it's been a year and a half, roughly, and nothing has ever come from it. But, as you know, my 5-year anniversary is coming along soon, so I'm planning to release a Zoogle documentary type thing for that date, which is on the 24th of December, so Christmas Eve. And as a bonus feature of that, like a behind-the-scenes type thing, in that will be all existing content from the third Zoogle movie, and if I can find anything from the first and second variants of it, but I don't think there will be. I have a logo from the second one that can be thrown into, and it'll have some testimonials from other people and stuff. It'll be pretty cool, so if that ever comes to fruition, which I hope it does, because I'd like to have a big project like that, it will be quite fun to do. Anyways, up next is the intermission, which the intermission being a thing where I basically just talk for a little bit, and then there's like a minute of silence where you enjoy the music, because obviously I'm going to have some bomb-ass music. And then we get back into it. So, this might be a longer one, actually, considering the length of the current segment, going on 8 minutes, so yeah, I'll see you all in, well, a few minutes, of course. Okay, so I've just now realized that at the beginning of basically every podcast, I say it's going to be a shorter one, then it ends up being like half an hour to 40 minutes, which sounds really short for a podcast, and introspectively it is, but the average at the beginning, because there's like probably 5 to maybe even 10 unfinished, scrapped podcasts throughout the history of Zoogleplex, but the average was like 20 minutes, but now it's very high, so anyways, I'm gonna give you guys a break from my voice and everything, just give y'all a second to, I guess, enjoy the music, maybe. Is that a usual thing for podcasts to do? An intermission? I don't even know at this point, it's been so long. Anyways, see you guys in a few. Okay, so, intermission over. I have a plan for this next segment. It's a new line of segments which will be coming in every podcast, and it's called Video Bits. And in Video Bits, I basically take an idea which was never big enough for its own video, or never came through, or something like that, and I talk about it and give you my personal opinion about it, not on the video, but on the topic, maybe a little, I don't know, testimonial about the video itself, I guess, but, anyways, the first Video Bits segment here for you is AirPods. And I tried for a long time to make a video on the AirPods, because I have, like, all the resources for it. I bought a pair of knockoff AirPods, not specifically for this video, but just because I wanted to mess around with them and stuff, and so it'd be a great thing to have in the video, like a comparison and stuff, but never came through. There is an unpublished draft of it somewhere. It may come around to you. I don't know, but yeah, so should you get them? Yes, obviously. They're I got them for mine like for $150 to $160, tax included. A good deal. The ones I got in particular, I'm holding them in my hand. Hear that click? They are the 2nd gen pods in the 1st gen case. And 2nd gen, 1st gen, it doesn't matter if you don't have a fucking wireless charging case, so just go wild with them, I guess. They sound really good. They're the best pair of headphones I've ever used, but that's a low bar because before I got the AirPods, I was using like dollar store headphones because they were never that big of a focus for me before a few months back. And the story of how I got the AirPods is kind of interesting unto itself, because I went to Walmart with X amount of money. I went to a few different places that day with X amount of money, and I walked in and said, "Can you give me this phone?" They said, "No, we have an older one, we can give it to you for a lot cheaper." Okay, so I got the older one, and I still had a good amount of money left, so I decided to get the AirPods, because, what the hell. And I'm not going to say I regretted my decision, but they are a bit expensive for what you're getting, though. That's me coming from, again, dollar store headphones, but yeah, if I had to recommend them, if you have the money to spend on them, yeah, but if you don't, just go wired. You can buy dongles and shit, bro, it doesn't matter. The battery life on them, that's another topic I was gonna go on about. They're really good. I used to think they were bad whenever I first got them, but then I realized it was because you're only noticing or caring about the battery life of them when the battery life is almost dead, because that's the only time you should care. So you're always going to think it's bad because you only care about it when the battery's almost dead. So once I looked at it from that perspective, I realized 4 to 5 hours on average usage per charge. That's not even including the case, which charges it over multiple times. It's good. It's pretty good. You can get like 2-3 days worth of, longer than that if you spread it out. Like if you're only using them 1 or 2 hours per day, you can easily get a lot of time out of them, like a week's worth if you don't use it that much. But considering I've been, doing pretty much nothing for about 5 months now because of all the shutdown shit, I've been listening to a lot of music, so I have been using them a lot, actually, and it was a good thing that I got them when I did, because they've been like an almost invaluable tool. Seriously, if you've got the money to spend, I recommend you pick them up. I wouldn't say it's a no-brainer, but damn, pretty nice thing to acquire. Also, if you're one of those fucking hype beast types, then yeah, but are you really a hype beast if you don't have them? No, that's me talking about stupid shit. Anyways, on to the next segment, I guess. I'd like to do more segments like that last one, by the way. Like ones where every episode is scheduled to have them. Maybe not in a specific order, but just like everyone will have one. I'd really like to explore that idea. Maybe like have 3 or 4 different segments that are all going to be in every episode, then 2 segments which are going to be like just wild card ones in the intro, intermission, and outro. It'd be a really fun thing to do, because like, trying new things is really nice, but having a solid schedule makes you a lot more likely to commit to it. And you can ask the people I edit videos for. I have a hard time, committing to things. It's caused some arguments and shit, but anyways, what was this segment about? Oh yes, this segment was about my content and the way it's going. This is quite similar to the second segment on this episode, I believe it was, where I talked about the way YouTube had changed, but it's not exactly the same. So, I've been doing a lot more satire videos, YouTube clips and stuff, and they're fun to make, but they're not really, making them is fun, but nothing else comes from them. The more serious videos, you can look at them and say, well, I did a good job with those, It's like, yeah, YouTube poops, you only get the satisfaction from making them, and then you upload them and they get 10 views and you're like, why would I do that? But the serious videos, they typically get more views and stuff, despite the fact that you think they're the other way around. But yeah, so I believe that I'm gonna try and do more serious videos, because like I said, I'm gonna try and start doing more videos with my face in it and everything, and that could take my channel in a different direction, because being frank about it, being Paul about it, that's a terrible joke. Being frank about it, Cool Vids for Kids, he makes those videos where he's just sitting in front of a camera, and that's really the way to make views, unless you're doing commentary videos, which, stay tuned for that too. I'm really just trying everything to see where my niche is, but yeah, and they do really well, and they're maybe not the most entertaining to watch, but you can see where they're going. You can, it's pretty nice. So I would like to possibly have my hand at something like that. What else was it gonna be? I think that was about it, what I was gonna say for this segment, but some other things to say related to this topic is that if you've looked at my page in the last day or so, my YouTube page, because I know this goes on Spotify and stuff, I've been trying to change up my logo and my banner and the description changed, just basically a small reboot. And the logo that I've done for it, the new logo, I really like it. The stylization on it and such. I think that's really the direction I want to take my channel's style into. At one point I was gonna do an avatar, not just an icon, but a little dude who would be in my videos, like those commentary channels. But I realized that, well, not only did I not really have the means necessary to do that back then, because that was 2018, but I realized that I didn't want to do that. I still want to try commentary channels. I have some commentary videos. I have some ideas for that and stuff, but I don't really want to just be that. I don't like the connotations of it. I don't like I don't like the community behind it. I don't really like anything to do with it, so I've mostly distanced myself from that. But maybe for 1 or 2 videos I could possibly try it, because in a skit I done with Cool Vids for Kids in 2018, I actually do have a little avatar. It's a dude in a suit with my old logo as the head. That's just a little fun fact. Speaking of the Zoogle movie I said earlier, there might be a, in the bonus thing, that might be a feature, because it's an interesting little part of Zoogle history. So, yeah. That's all I really had to say about this segment. And that means we're going on to the outro. Okay, so it's that time of the podcast again. First time in a long, long time. And hopefully the start of a long line of more episodes, maybe with some features, because I've tried featuring different people on the podcast and it's always fell through. But, you know, consider this the start of like a mini season 2. Now, when I say that, I think there's gonna be a season 2 of the podcast, because I'm gonna put it in seasons most likely. But I mean, like, it's a change in pace from the original episodes, because I can't even really stand the original episodes, because, you know, the way my voice sounds and everything, it's just kind of intolerable. But, yeah. So, this is the end of another podcast. I said it was going to be a shorter one in the beginning. Yeah, obviously not. It's turned out to be like the second longest episode I've ever made. So, I mean, it's pretty good stuff. And I hope you all enjoyed it and everything. This and episode 3 and 4 will be going on. No. Okay. Episode 3 and 4 will be going up on YouTube at virtually the same time. Episode 3 will be uploaded first, but episode 4 is obviously the big one, so, because episode 3 was never uploaded to YouTube, so, anyways, stay tuned for episode 5 of the podcast, which will hopefully be soon, and I'll see you good-looking gentlemen later.